Dr. Gregory Malakoff, a chiropractor for the past 20 years, is only one of 542 diplomates of neurology in the world. He wanted me to share some of his insights and wisdom he has obtained from treating his patients, in the hope you too will discover these life-saving secrets. Hello, I'm Alan Sklar. In the next 10 minutes, you'll discover what the healthiest people on the planet do to ensure their continued good health. Dr. Malakoff noticed an interesting phenomena from watching health fads come and go since he was a child in the 60s. He found that there is no shortage of trendy names for the new diseases we develop, but whatever you want to call them, we grow more and more complex multiple symptoms, and our health continues to deteriorate. Unfortunately, we get a trendier drug to buy that is usually determined to be not very good for our health. Now, one example that comes to mind is in the 60s. Everyone seemed to have hypoglycemia. In the 70s, those same symptoms of headache, confusion, fatigue, and general aches and pains were labeled as candidiasis, also known as a systemic yeast infection. In the 80s, it seemed everyone with all those complaints had Epstein-Barr virus. In the 90s, there was no shortage of chronic fatigue syndrome or fibromyalgia. Now, sadly, many people have discovered that naming something doesn't make them feel any better. The more neuroscientists learn, the more we understand just how vital the original chiropractic premise is for achieving good health. Let's examine what chiropractors have known, what modern science knows, and what you need to know to protect yourself. I would like to introduce you and your family to the most powerful, safe, and cost-effective form of healing known today. The more science discovers, the more we learn that the power that made our bodies and runs our bodies is the same power that can heal our bodies, as long as it's not interfered with. In the last 60 seconds, your body has performed millions of functions, the vast majority completely out of your control. Your ears turn sound waves into messages. Your brain takes reflections of light and turns them into understandable images of your world. Your lungs take oxygen and add it to your blood cells. Your heart then pumps those blood cells throughout your body. Your stomach digests food. Your muscles keep you upright. Your immune system works non-stop to kill foreign invading microbes. Your bone marrow produces new blood cells, and that's just the beginning. All of these amazing functions have been occurring simultaneously. The first life-saving secret concerns healing. If we broke a carrot in half and placed it in a cast, would it eventually mend itself back together? I hear you saying no. Even if you put alcohol on it and a nice-looking bandage, now would it heal? Why not? What's missing? Life. That's the secret. Life is what heals. Where exactly is life located in your body? The best way to answer that question is with another question. When are we considered deceased? When our brain stops functioning. So life comes from our brain. Did you know that the spinal cord is considered to be 20% of the brain, also known as the central nervous system? For all living beings, the spinal cord is the first organ created in our bodies. The female egg becomes fertile and builds a spinal cord that soon develops into the brain. The brain is the master control system for the entire body. Your brain controls all other systems in the body, and your body is made up of over 70 trillion cells that connect back to the brain through the spinal cord, the most intricate communication system the world has ever known. From 2 cells to 70 trillion cells, the miracle of life is guided by the brain. In fact, scientists have compared the human brain to a computer that would equal the size of Texas and the height of the Empire State Building. Throughout Earth's history, billions of babies have been born, most of them with the right parts in the right place, functioning correctly. And here's how it happens. Your brain sends millions of perfect messages every second down through your spinal cord and then out the delicate spinal nerves to each and every part of your body. Without proper messages from your brain, your body would never know what to do. You digest food because your brain knows something is in your mouth, not just because you have food in your stomach. So Mom was right. You have to chew your food. Your skin stops bleeding and begins to form a scab because your brain tells it to. A scab that will not be too big as to break off and lodge in a critical area, resulting in an untimely death, and not too small that you keep bleeding, also resulting in an unfavorable outcome. Your body functions all because you have a brain, in spite of what your teachers might have told you. So as long as there is no interference to the messages being sent from the brain to the body, and then from your body back to your brain, you will have a better chance of experiencing perfect health. Now, unfortunately for millions of people, the above scenario is far from reality. The power that made the body can heal the body. So what goes wrong? The second life-saving secret is knowing how your power source gets blocked. But before we can know how, we need to know where this cause of nerve interference actually occurs in the body. Now, just like your house has a panel of circuit breakers, ultimately controlling every function within your home, your spine acts as a series of circuit breakers for your entire body. If the circuit breakers are set to be in the on position, then the power is on. And if they are in the off position, then your power is off. If you came home and not one single appliance was working, you wouldn't throw them out and buy new ones, would you? No, of course not. You would check the circuit breakers. I mean, human beings aren't that simple, but the more neuroscientists discover the importance of spinal cord reflexes and their impact on our brains, the more this concept from the early 1900s holds true. Now, right about now, you may be realizing that the truth of health and longevity is being revealed to you. The human spine was developed to protect the spinal cord and the power surging through the nerves that comprise it. These nerves divide from the spinal cord between spinal bones called vertebrae. The spinal bones have special joints that allow you to bend and turn your body. You don't have to look to know exactly where the body parts are. These joints have nerve receptors around them, giving our brains that information automatically. When these joints don't function correctly, that information gets distorted on its way to our brain. This distorted information now affects other systems. Think of it as if you're an important manager. You have 24 secretaries. If they all gave you, the manager, incorrect information, you would make wrong decisions, and that would affect the departments that you manage. Anything that brings stress, tension, or injury to your spine can cause one or more of these bones to move out of their proper alignment. This means when two spinal bones don't move properly, they can interfere with nerve function and instantly interrupt what the brain is trying to tell a certain part of your body. That interference of spinal bones affecting nerves is called vertebral subluxation. The reason why subluxation is so dangerous is because you usually don't feel it until it progresses, leaving you with dysfunction and sickness. Often, the spinal joints at this point have already degenerated. Unfortunately, we all know you can't unboil a hard-boiled egg, which means subluxation degeneration is not reversible. It's best to try and prevent it. Chiropractors have referred to subluxation from its inception way back in 1895. Right now, the most exciting research going on in medicine, besides DNA, is the study of joint neurology. Now keep in mind, when spinal bones work together, they are known as joints. Medicine has finally decided to find out not if chiropractic works, but why it works so well. What does the average American do when they finally realize that their body isn't working right?